إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. طيب يا إخوة, we are continue to speak about the companions. We spoke about the 10 companions, those who are given the garden of paradise. We're going to continue inshallah, more to come. طيب, Shaykhul Islam ibn Taymiyyah رحمه الله said, ويقرون بما تواتر به النقل عن أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب وغيره من أن خير هذه الأمة بعد نبيها أبو بكر ثم عمر. طيب, now we're going to talk about the best of the companions. طيب, we spoke about what it has been established from the numerous narrations and from Amir al-Mu'minin Ali bin Abi Talib radiallahu anhu and others, that the best of the ummah after Prophet is Abu Bakr and then Umar. طيب, now we've covered the best of the people from the companions. We said the Muhajirun are better than the Ansar, and those who became Muslim before the Fath, conquest of Mecca, they're better than those who became Muslim after the conquest of Mecca, because of the situation they were living in. Muhajirun lived a difficult time, and the people who became Muslim before the Fath, conquest of Mecca, Sulh Hudaybiyah, they live a difficult time, and so their virtues are greater than the rest. طيب. Then from that we spoke about the best of, after all that, the best of the companions are the 10 companions who granted Jannah, and we gave a lot of hadith about more than 10 that granted paradise. Some of them, like who else? Who was granted paradise after 10? Do you remember other companions? Hassan Hussein, we know the hadith. Bilal. Who else? The Sahabi hid himself in the house. Nawas bin Sam'an. Shammas. He hid himself in the house. So the many companions who granted paradise, radiallahu anhum. So today inshallah we discuss about Abu Bakr, Umar and the rest. So it's from the Aqeedah that Abu Bakr is the best of the companions, then Umar. And it is misguidance to say, to compare Abu Bakr and Umar better than Abu Bakr better than Umar. There's no disagreement on that. Abu Bakr is the best of the companions, as the hadith says here, hadith in Bukhari. And the Muhammad bin Hanfiya قال قلت لأبي أي الناس خير بعد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال أبو بكر ثم من قال عمر. So they said that Muhammad bin al-Hanfiya said that I said to my father, who is the best of the mankind after Prophet ﷺ? He said Abu Bakr. Then who? Umar. طيب. We have a hadith of Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu that they used to discuss in front of the Prophet ﷺ, who is the best of the companions after Rasulullah, and they said Abu Bakr. And Prophet would hear, he will not say anything. Okay, so it's important that we realize this, because we respect them for who they are. And Prophet ﷺ said that I was shown the mizan. Okay, I was shown the mizan, and the reward of the whole ummah was placed in one balance, and Abu Bakr in one balance. Abu Bakr ajr reward became heavier than the rest of the ummah. طيب. So there's no discussion on this, who is better, Abu Bakr or Umar. Is Abu Bakr, no doubt. Then Umar, no doubt, radiallahu anhuma. And there was a lady came to Prophet ﷺ and said, Ya Rasulullah, regarding ahkam al-shar'iyyah, when you die, who should I go to? He said, go to Abu Bakr. طيب. Go to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. And he said in another hadith, اقتدوا بالذين بعدي Abu Bakr Umar. After me follow two companions, Abu Bakr and Umar. And we know hadith, alaykum bi sunnati sunnatu khulafa rashidin mahdin, upon you to follow my sunnah and the sunnah of the rightly ghali khulafa, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali. So there is no issue on this one, alhamdulillah. We know Abu Bakr is the best of the mankind. And when Prophet ﷺ became ill, he said, Mur Abu Bakr and yusalli bin nas. When Prophet became ill, he said, command Abu Bakr to lead the people in the prayer. Okay, not Umar, anyone. They realized he's going to be the next Khalifa after death of the Prophet ﷺ. طيب, so here Shaykhul Islam brings the important issue that Abu Bakr Umar is the best of the mankind after Prophet ﷺ. Then ويثلثون بعثمان ويربعون بعلي رضي الله عنهما كما دلت عليه الآثار وكما أجمع الصحابة على تقديم عثمان في البيعة. Now they make Uthman, they make it third, Ali they make it fourth. May Allah be pleased with them. And as the athar, the evidence shows that, and the way the companions, they all agreed that Uthman is better than Ali in the bay'ah. Now, when it comes to this issue, there are some of the Salaf preferred, they believed Ali is better than Uthman, like Sufyan al-Thawri and Abu Hanifa as well. They believed that Ali is better than Uthman in fadl, not khilafah. Shaykhul Islam said, if you believe that Ali should have been a khalifa over Uthman, that's misguidance. Okay, we'll cover this. But Ali, in terms of fadl, some believed it. But Ayyub al-Sakhtiyani said that, من قدم عليا على أبي بكر وعمر فقد أزرى بالمهاجرين والأنصار. That if they put Ali before Abu Bakr or Umar, then they have belittled the Muhajirin and Ansar. طيب? Because they are the best of the people when it comes to who is the better, Uthman or Ali. And they have chosen Muhajirin and Ansar, chosen Abu Bakr, Uthman to be before Ali. And if people doubt that they're mistaking the Khilafah in terms of tartib, in order, then it's misguidance, yadu billah. And Allah chose that. Allah chose that. That's why Shaykhul Islam mentioned that. Inshallah, we'll come to that. So, Uthman is better than Ali. The conclusion is that both have virtues, okay, and but Uthman, most of the Salaf said that he's better than Ali. Now, there are three opinions on this, by the way, brothers. Is that first opinion is that عامة أهل السنة والجماعة أهل السنة على أن Ali مفضول بالنسبة إلى عثمان أن عثمان أفضل من Ali. So majority of the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah regarding the virtues, Uthman is better than Ali. لأن عثمان مقدم على في الأحاديث, because he was mentioned, the virtue mentioned more than Ali radiallahu anhu, and obviously he was Khalifa before Ali radiallahu anhu. That's the majority of the scholars of Ahl Sunnah, that Uthman is better than Ali. Then the second opinion is that وقول قوم من أهل الكوفة وغيرها وهم قلة قالوا بتفضيل علي على عثمان. That there are some of the scholars from Kufa, which is very little minority views, is that Ali is better than Uthman. And Sheikhs mentioned that this is where Sufyan al-Thawri, because Sufyan al-Thawri were Abi Hanifa, they believe that Ali is better than Uthman. But Ayyub al-Sakhtiyani, when he approached Sufyan al-Thawri, he told him, then he retracted his opinion from that. That's the second opinion. The third opinion is that man tawaqqafa fihim, one of the opinions is that, third one is that they didn't say anyone better than who. They left it. That's Imam Malik, rahimahullah. طيب. So then Shaykhul Islam talks about مع أن بعد أهل السنة كانوا قد اختلفوا في عثمان وعلي رضي الله عنهما بعد اتفاقهم على تقديم أبي بكر وعمر أيهم أفضل. Now, some of the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, they had a disagreement regarding Uthman and Ali radiallahu anhuma. After they agreed Abu Bakr and Umar is the best one, they had a disagreement on Uthman and Ali. Who is the best? فقدم قوم عثمان وسكتوا. Some of them believed Uthman is better, and some remain silent, and some says Ali is the fourth, he comes fourth. وقدم قوم علي. Some said Ali is better than Uthman. وقوم توقفوا, and some remain silent, like Imam Malik. لكن استقر أمر أهل السنة والجماعة على تقديم عثمان ثم علي. But what the final conclusion is that the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, they believe Uthman is better than Ali radiallahu anhuma. طيب. So this is the summary of that. So it's good to know because a lot of people they ask who is better, Ali or Uthman, Uthman or Ali. So overall is Uthman. The fact he's chosen the third Khalifa shows he's better than Ali radiallahu anhu. طيب continue with that إن شاء الله. وإن كانت هذه مسألة عثمان وعلي ليست من أصول أهل السنة والجماعة التي يضلل المخالفون فيها عند جمهور أهل السنة والجماعة. So regarding this mas'ala about Uthman and Ali, who is the best, it is not the issue in fundamental of our deen that will misguide a person. So if someone said Ali is better than Uthman, you can't say he's misguided. La, you can't say that. So if an authority believes that, Abu Hanifa believes that. طيب, so that's not going to misguide a person. لكن التي يضلل فيها مسألة الخلافة. But what will misguide a person is the khilafah. If he says no, Ali should have been a khalifa over Uthman. Why? Because that's what Allah chose. Okay, Allah named this order Khulafa Rashidin, guided Khulafa. Okay, now for you to say no, Uthman should have been after Ali, should have been fourth, Ali should have been the third, then this misguidance, because Allah chose it like that through the Muhajirun and Ansar. So Ibn Taymiyyah said that would be misguidance to believe that. But to believe Ali better than Uthman, if you wish that, you can wish that, no problem with that. But we know the Jumhur Ahl Sunnah believe Uthman is better than Ali. طيب وذلك أنهم يؤمنون أن الخليفة بعد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, because Ahl Sunnah believe the Khalifa after Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم is Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman and Ali. Okay, then he says that's the order. ومن طعن في خلافة أحد من هؤلاء فهو أضل من حمار أهله. But if anyone were to curse, rebuke the khilafah of any of these companions, then he is misguided. Yes, he's misguided because you've gone against the text and the nusus. Because Abu Bakr would have been the next Khalifa after death of Prophet anyway, because it was mentioned, and Umar is promised he'll be the next Khalifa after Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr promised him. He promised Umar, you'll be next Khalifa after me. So these are the masail regarding the Sahabas. We're going to continue inshallah. Now, next issue now. So we spoke about the virtue of the companions, who are the best, and some of the companions are granted Jannah. The next issue regarding companion was something else now. In the Shaykhul Islam says that وَيُحِبُّونَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ وَيَتَوَلَّوْنَهُم وَيَحْفَظُونَ فِيهِمْ وَصِيَّةَ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم حيث قال يوم غدير خم. طيب يحبون يعني أهل السنة والجماعة يحبون أهل البيت. They love the أهل البيت. Now who are the أهل البيت? أهل البيت is the ulama says Bani Hashim. Some of the opinion says Bani Quraysh. The ulama said Ahlul Bayt are the people of Rasulullah, like the family of Abbas, family of Ja'far, Uqayl, Talha, Fatima, the family of Prophet. These are Ahlul Bayt. Okay, these are Ahlul Bayt. When it comes to loving Ahlul Bayt, the Ummah had divided into three categories, the people. The first category is that Rafida. Rawafid. The Rawafid, they went one extreme, loving the companions, Ali, Hassan, Hussein, the family of Ali, and all of them. They went to extreme where they declared Ali to be Ilah. That's the Rawafid, Saba'iyya. They one branch. Okay, they made ghulu in Ahl Bayt, Ali, and specifically Ali radiallahu anhu. And that's and he burned them. Okay, they praised Ali so much. That's one extreme. Then you got Rafida, Khawarij, Nawasib. They had hatred for the companions. In fact, they never loved any companions. The Khawarij and the Nawasib, the same thing. And the Nawasib means they had extreme hatred for the companions. And that's one extreme. And then you have the Ummatul Wasat Ahl Sunnah, the middle between the two extremes. They love the companions, but they do not raise them to be ilah and things like that, to worship them, give them godhood or things like that. They love them, they follow them. And nor are they like the Khawarij who hate the companions. And hating the companions is أصله كفر. أصله كفر. من حديث من علامة الإيمان حب الأنصار والمهاجرين. من علامة النفاق بغض الأنصار والمهاجرين. That the sign of Iman is to love the Ansar, and it doesn't mention Muhajirin now. And the sign of a Nifaq is to hate the Ansar. طيب? And we have a hadith loving Hassan and Hussein, things like that. طيب? So Ahl Sunnah, they love the Ahlul Bayt. And what did Shaykhul Islam say? Ahl Bayt. Ahl Bayt, more specific, Ahlul Bayt, more general. The brothers, fathers, include all that in them. وَيَتَوَلَّوْنَهُمْ وَيَحْفَظُونَ فِيهِمْ وَصِيَّةَ رَسُولِ صلى الله عليه وسلم. And they preserve regarding the Ahlul Bayt, يعني they do not, as the Prophet said in the hadith, أُذَكِّرُكُمُ اللَّهِ فِي أَهْلِ الْبَيْتِ بَيْتِي. Okay, hadith Zayd bin Arqam, it's a long hadith. Okay, I remind you about what Allah said about Ahlul Bayt, about my Ahlul Bayt. Now what does it mean, أُذَكِّرُكُمُ اللَّهِ? Meaning, remember the Ahlul Bayt, what Allah spoke about them, and respect them. And we spoke about that ومن أصول أهل السنة والجماعة سلامة قلوب ألسنة, that لأصحاب رسول الله, that from the fundamental principle of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, that your tongue and your heart is fresh, is pure regarding the companions. So أُذَكِّرُكُمُ اللَّهِ, reminding you about the companion, what Allah said about them. Okay, regarding my house, Ahlul Bayt, meaning remember them, praise them, do not abuse them, do not hate them, speak good about them, do not curse them, because these are all against the usul. So Prophet saying, I'm reminding you about my Ahlul Bayt. Honor them, speak good about them, do not curse them. Like and part of it that do not make ghulu in them, So we have to moderate. So we are based on the hadith, we have to be in the middle between the Rafida and the Khawarij. وقال أيضا لعباس عمه وقد اشتكى إليه أن بعض قريش يشفو بني هاشم. The Prophet was told that some of the Quraysh is belittling the Bani Hashim. Bani Hashim, where the Prophet is from, Hashimi. And Hashim from Quraysh. We're going to quote the hadith now. So there was a complaint went to Prophet ﷺ, and it was said to him that some of the Quraysh, they're abusing Bani Hashim or Muhammad ﷺ. So Prophet said that لا يؤمنون حتى يحبوكم. The Prophet said, none of you truly believe, okay, until they love you for Allah and the qarabati, namely the close relative. So Prophet said, La yu'minu, meaning that the Iman is not complete, it's not perfect. So the negation of Iman here, negation of the Kamal, not meaning the kuffar, but they are still Muslim, but the Iman is not complete until they love you, Bani Hashim, for sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. طيب? So, yes, to speak ill about any of the companions, okay, it is not allowed. And hadith continues, it says that, Inna Allah astafa bani Ismail. Indeed, Allah has chosen the progeny of Ismail. Wastafa min bani Ismail Kinana. And from Bani Ismail, he chosen the people of Kinana. From Wastafa min Kinana Quraysh. And Quraysh was chosen from the Kinana. Wastafa min Quraysh Bani Hashim. From Bani Hashim is chosen from Quraysh is Bani Hashim. And Allah chose me from Bani Hashim. طيب? That's the lineage. So Ismail alayhi salam, the Arab are the progeny of Ismail alayhi salam. Okay? And the Bani Israel are the progeny of Yaqub. So that's what it is. Allah chose Prophet alayhi salam from Hashimi. And Hashimi and Qurayshi, the respected tribe, the very honorable tribe, But having said that, we have hadith that man batta amaluhu lam yusri' bi nasabuhu, that that whoever is slow to do action, worship Allah, the lineage will not make him do good deed. Meaning, it doesn't matter if a Hashimi or Quraysh, if you're not a believer, if you don't worship Allah, that's not going to save you. But having said that, these are noble tribe at the time of Prophet. Hashimi is a very noble tribe. Quraysh is a noble tribe at those days, and they were respected. So we're not allowed to curse tribe anyway. So Prophet just telling them that the izzah of these people. When they were reprimanding, the belittling the Bani Hashim, the Prophet said, if they don't love the Bani Hashim, then the Iman is weak. Okay, the true Iman is not there. Then he said, I am from Bani Hashim. I'm chosen from Bani Hashim. Continuing with that. Shaykhul Islam continue with that. He says that now let's go to talk about Azwaj, the wife of the Prophet ﷺ. يتولون أزواج رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم أمهات المؤمنين ويؤمنون بأنهن أزواجه في الآخرة خصوصا خديجة رضي الله عنها أكثر أولاده. So Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, they love the wives of the Prophet ﷺ, Ummahatil Mu'mineen, and the mother of the believers. And Allah named them. The wife of the Prophet are your mothers. Wife of the Prophet, they're your mothers. And one of the thing about Ummahatul Mu'mineen is that the mother of the believers title was given by Allah to them. Also, the mother of the believers is that the Ahkam al-Shar'iyyah, for example, certainty khas for them, or it was revealed for them. Allah specifically mentioned the hijab, or the messenger or the prophet tell your wives and the believing women to cover themselves. Okay, was specifically revealed for the wife of the prophet and the believing women as well. And also the mother of the believers is that the most purest women, the best of the women, and also that they cannot be married. When the Prophet passed away, he left his wives as well. It is haram for anyone to marry them. The mother of the believers, the title given to them by Allah Azza wa Jal. So the wife of the believers, the mother of the believers are the wives of the Prophet ﷺ. Talaful ulama, in here 9 wives, 11 wives. Okay, we know the names, and we believe, Ahl Sunnah believe, they are his wife in dunya and akhirah as well. Now Khadija radiallahu anha. Now Khadija was the first wife of the Prophet ﷺ. She was 40 years old when she married Prophet ﷺ. She was a businesswoman. She was well off, and a lot of proposals came for her, but Allah chosen her for Prophet ﷺ. Now obviously Prophet ﷺ married her for a reason. Allah chose her for a reason, because we'll come to that inshallah. So when they got married, she was 40, Prophet was 25. He had Fatima, Kulthum, Ibrahim. He had daughters and he had son. Age of 40, Prophet became a Nabi. طيب. Now Khadija radiallahu anha was the first woman to become a believer. She was the first woman to believe in Prophet ﷺ, and she was the first one to help, aid and support Prophet ﷺ financially and everything. Now Khadija radiallahu anha, having said she's the wife of the Prophet ﷺ, Prophet used to go to mountain, and he will basically he will worship Allah in his own way, and Khadija radiallahu anha, she would take the food, she will go up the mountain and give the food to Prophet every day. We can't able to do this. She would do that every day. Now, once upon a time, Allah Azza wa Jal said to Jibreel, okay, go down, tell Muhammad that Khadija is coming, and give my salam to Khadija. And tell Khadija that I have made a palace for her in Jannah. This is from Allah, Lord of the world, giving salam to Khadija. So Jibril came and said to Prophet ﷺ, your wife Khadija is coming. Tell Khadija, with Jibril not going to go to Khadija, the revelation came down from Allah to Jibril to Muhammad ﷺ. So tell Khadija that Allah has prepared for you a palace in Jannah. So this is the respect of Khadija. And so Prophet did that. طيب? So Khadija was the first Sahabi, radiallahu anhu. We know the story that when the revelation came down and Prophet went to Khadija, and Khadija, he became a Nabi, then he took Khadija radiallahu anha, took Prophet to Waraqa bin Nawfal, who was her cousin. Waraqa also a Muslim, he died, and he also Ahlul Jannah, person of Jannah. And Waraqa bin Nawfal told Prophet ﷺ, your next prophet that Allah has revealed, and if I'm alive, I will defend you, protect you, to spread the deen. So the Waraqa bin Nawfal passed away, and the Prophet, then he became the Rasul, and thus Khadija was the first woman to believe in Prophet ﷺ. And let's continue. أول من آمن به وعاضد على أمره. The first person to believe in Khadija of Prophet ﷺ was Khadija, and he first person to aid him in the matter. وكان لها منه منزلة العالية. Now Khadija had a high status, and she was given Jannah. Allah promised her Jannah in dunya. Okay. Now, next one, Shaykhul Islam talks about والصديقة بن صديق رضي الله عنها التي قال فيها فضل عائشة على النساء كفضل الثريد على سائر الطعام. Now, we spoke about Khadija, the virtue. She aided Prophet ﷺ for 10 years in difficulty, spreading the deen. Then comes Aisha now. Aisha, Prophet married Aisha age of 6, and he entered when she was 9. طيب. Now, Aisha was 9, but she was a woman at that time. She became a alima at a very young age. So there's a virtue of, like we spoke about virtue of Uthman and Ali, who was better, and virtue of Khadija and Aisha. There's a virtue in both of them. طيب. And we have a hadith, the 5 best women on the earth, and the Ahlul Jannah. Khadija, Aisha, Fatima, Maryam, and Asiya, the wife of Fir'aun. So they are Ahlul Jannah. These women are Ahlul Jannah. طيب. Now, then comes Aisha, and Prophet praised Aisha radiallahu anha. He said that فضل عائشة على النساء كفضل الثريد على سائر الطعام. The virtue of Aisha over the women is like the virtue of tharid على سائر الطعام, like the tharid over the rest of the food. Now, tharid is a type of food that in Arab they have. Type of them they had it as well. Tharid is made of lamb, it's a meat or chicken, mixed with vegetables, and then it's slow cooked. And I'm making you hungry now. And underneath is bread, and you eat it with the bread. Okay? It's called tharid. And tharid is very well known food, very best food with the Arab. Okay? So the Prophet gave example with Aisha. She's the best over the rest of the women. Okay? Like tharid is best over the rest of the food. طيب. So the ulama says that Khadija is the best of the women at the beginning of the prophethood. When Prophet became Rasulullah, he went through difficulties, he went through hardship, and the Prophet agreed. And he said, when I became Prophet, when I was going through difficulties, the first woman stood up for me, Khadija. She was the first one to aid me, support me in the da'wah, and believe in me. Okay? So, no one can. That's why I think Prophet was chosen a wife like Khadija. She was older than Prophet, mature. And Allah knows the trial is coming for Rasulullah, and she will be able to stand and help him and aid him, support him in that difficult time. So Allah chose Khadija for Prophet, and so in that aspect, Khadija is the best of the women. طيب. Now Aisha was, some say she was, after death of Prophet, after death of Khadija, was Aisha the best woman, and she was the best of the women in terms of another aspect. In terms of hadith, memorizing hadith. Look at my brothers, how many hadith we read from Aisha? How many hadith she has memorized? At very early age, she became a faqih. She was in very early age. She was giving fatawa, and she taught Abu Huraira. She taught Abu Musa al-Ashari. She taught Makhul. Tabi'een. They will come to Aisha behind the curtain and they will request fatwa from Aisha, very early age. And so she became a faqih. She became the alima, very early age. And she memorized so many hadith of Prophet ﷺ. And that's why when you see any hadith related to the house, it's Aisha narrating the hadith. Nobody else. طيب. So in that aspect, in the preservation of hadith and hifz, the memorization, is Aisha. Aisha did the most of the job. طيب. She memorized the hadith, she told the companions, and she propagated the hadith. So from that aspect, she is the best. Now, when it comes to Aisha, obviously, Ahlul Sunnah, we love the wives of the Prophet, the best of the women. But on the contrary to that, the Rafidah, they don't see the virtue of Aisha radiallahu anha. That's why they're kuffar, Rawafid, because the ulama says if you curse Aisha when it's on its own, just cursing Aisha enough to take out the fold of Islam, because Allah preserved her, isn't it? When Aisha radiallahu anha was accused of that act, Allah revealed the verse, and He revealed it, and He said this group of people coming with the khabar is a lie, it's a fabrication. So Allah preserved Aisha, protected her honor. So for someone to come and say other than that, you're going against the ayah of the Quran. Allah revealed it, and He told us that Aisha is free from that. طيب. So the Rafidah and even the Khawarij as well, they're similar in that aspect. So they don't see Aisha's virtue, yadu billah. And when Allah, Rafidah, they believe that when Allah talks about the cow in the house, in the Surah Baqarah, that it means the Aisha radiallahu anha. طيب. So we are learning about the virtue of Khadija and virtue of Aisha. So we understand now that Khadija, the best of the women after the in the first year of prophethood, Khadija was the best person. She protected Prophet, aided him, supported him. And the later part of the prophethood was Aisha was the best, because she memorized the most of the hadith, she taught the companions, she became a muallima, a teacher, okay, to the sunnah, radiallahu anha. طيب. Continue with that. يتبرؤون من طريقة الروافض الذين يبغضون الصحابة ويسبونهم وطريقة النواسب الذين يؤذون أهل البيت بقول أو عمل. طيب. Now, أهل السنة والجماعة متبرئون. تبرأ is to free from. Freeing. Ahl Sunnah is free themselves from the path of Rawafid. Rawafid is from the word Rafada. When Zayd was asked, why they call Rawafid Rafida? Because when Zayd was asked, Zayd bin Hussein bin Ali bin Hassan bin Ali, I think, the great grandson of Ali radiallahu anhu, when he was asked about Abu Bakr and Umar, his name is Zayd, he was asked radiallahu anhu, what happened was, he praised Abu Bakr and Umar and the companions. So they say they spoke ill about Abu Bakr and Umar. He said, Rafattumuni, you rejected me, فأنتم رافضة. You are Rafida. He gave that name to them, Rafida. Okay? So Rawafid is pro Rafida. So Rafida, Ahl Sunnah is free from the Rafida, those who have hatred for the companion and the curse. But Rafida, other than the Ahlul Bayt, they hate the companions anyway. Okay? They curse them. Okay? They abuse them. They have hatred for the companions, radiallahu anhum. So Ahl Sunnah is free from them, because our Aqeedah is to love the companions. Okay? We know the hadith, is to love the companions. And their Aqeedah is to hate the companions and curse them. And Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah is free from the way of the Nawasib. The Nawasib are the Khawarij, and they harm the Prophet ﷺ's Ahlul Bayt verbally and physically. طيب? So, to be honest with you, Nawasib or Khawarij are worse than the Rawafid in terms of hating the companions. Rawafid, at least they have love for Ahlul Bayt. But the Nawasib, the Rafidah, they have, Khawarij, they have no love for the companion. They hate the companion, they abuse them verbally and physically as well. And one of the stories we know that Abdullah bin Khabbab radiallahu anhu, the story, famous story that he basically was traveling with his wife, she was expecting, and they come up with Khawarij. Okay? And the Khawarij recognized Abdullah bin Khabbab, and they said to Abdullah bin Khabbab, what do you say about Abu Bakr and Umar and the company? See, they are Imam. You know, they are Imam. We respect them, follow them. Subhanallah. Abuse them physically. You know what they done? They killed him. They killed him. They killed his wife, radiallahu anhuma, because of that praise that he gave it to them. So, amalan, even physically they abuse the companion. So it's very important. This companion has to be free from our tongue. As Shaykhul Islam said, Salamatul Qulub al-Sina, that our tongue and the heart have to be free. Our tongue has to be free from abusing them, and our heart has to be free from having envy against them, hatred, against them. Has to be free, because that is that's kufr. That's kufr. Because you hate somebody Allah loves. You hate somebody, Allah said, radiyallahu anhu wa radu an. لَقَدْ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِذْ يُبَيِّعُونَ تَحْتَ الشَّجَرَةِ. Indeed, Allah is happy with those who get bay'ah under the tree. So you hate somebody Allah loves, yadu billah. Where is the iman? There's no iman in that. So we have to love them. Loving is a sign of iman. طيب? So Ahl Sunnah is Ummatul Wasat. And we covered this, isn't it? Ummatul Wasat, Asma al-Sifat, in Qadr, in Sahabas, the Ummatul Wasat, the middle path. Okay, we covered all that regarding them. طيب? So that's what we are, inshallah, have to do. But I'm sure you have come across people do sometimes belittle the company, yadu billah, and they apologize and all that. There should be no such thing like that. Okay, having to belittle them, yadu billah. ويمسكون عما شجر بين الصحابة ويقولون إن هذه الآثار مروية في مساويه منها ما هو كذب منها ما قد زيد فيه ونقص وغير عن وجه. Now, ويمسكون عما شجر بين الصحابة. طيب, we have to withhold ourselves. We have to withhold ourselves from any dispute between the companions. Okay, any dispute between any companion. The companions are not ma'asum. They fall into sins. Okay, they fall into major sins. They're not free from major sins, the companions. But we're not allowed to argue over that. Okay, we have to make imsak. We have to withhold our tongue, and because Prophet said, لا تسبوا أصحابي لو أن أحدكم أنفق مثل أهن الذهب ما بلغ ما أنفق أحد أو نصفه. طيب, but do not curse my companions. If they are to spend gold mountain of Uhud, you not spend what they have spent, or half of it. طيب, Sahabas have made mistake, and Allah has forgave them. We have stories, many stories. They fell into major sins, but we do not speak in a way to belittle them. Okay. Also, stories of they disobeyed Prophet but mountain Ghazwatul Uhud. Okay, Ghazwatul Uhud, they disobeyed Prophet. They were taught lesson by Allah Azza wa Jal because they disobeyed Prophet. Also, the story of Hatib ibn Abi Balta'a, one of the companions who fought in Ghazwatul Uhud, Badr. Okay, he fought in Badr, and Hatib bin Abi Balta'a, he made a mistake. He plotted against the Prophet and the companions. We do not argue over this. Oh, he made mistake. Subhanallah. No, we shouldn't be doing this. He's overlooked. He's forgiven. When he told the Ahlul Mecca, where his family was there, and the companions are going to Mecca to attack, to go in Mecca basically. They're coming. The companions are coming. The Prophet are coming. He told the leader of the Mushrik of the Quraysh, and obviously Prophet was already told they're coming, and who was the person who wrote this. So Prophet said, spoke to Hatib bin Abi Balta'a, what have you done? Where did you put this? Where is this letter? And eventually he had to say where the letter is. The Prophet sent the letter was given to a woman. She put it inside her hair, and Prophet sent Ali and others to go and get the letter. Everything is there. So there's a reason why I'm mentioning this. Now they found her and they said, give us the letter. So, what letter? Give us the letter. If you have to strip you, we'll strip you. Give the letter. Give that letter to us. So she gave the letter, and she was brought to Prophet, and the letter was brought to Prophet, and Prophet said, "Yeah, Hatib, what is this?" He said, "Ya Rasulullah, I didn't mean anything bad," and he gave me the excuse. I have no choice, but because I've got family in Mecca and I feared for them, and something forced me to do this, So anyway, Allah didn't reveal the verse to punish him or anything like that. But we can take this. It's a major sin, but we can take this. We can't take this and say, "Oh, Hatib did this and that." Make an argument over that. No, we can't do that. We have to remain silent over their mistake. The mistake that they make is forgiven. So one of the companions said, "Ya Rasulullah, shall we not, something like in a hand, they punish him?" Or, Prophet said, and he quoted the hadith that "i'malu ma shi'tum faqad ghafartu lakum." Don't you know that it's been said that do whatever you wish, Ahlul Badr, it has been forgiven for you. He's Ahlul Badri. Okay, so we can't do this. It's honor, you don't hear Uhudi, any other title given under battle, but he was given for in Badr. Badri, this respected honorable title was given to him. So he was overlooked. So what numsiku amma shajara bayna sahaba. Okay, whatever confusion that took place, we withhold ourselves. We do not talk. We do not talk behind their back. So إن هذه الآثار مروية في مساويه منها ما هو كذب ومنها ما قد زيد فيه ونقص وغير عن وجهه. So Shaykhul Islam said that some of these آثار reported, it could be in the level of lie, could be something added, could be something removed from it, okay, from true meaning. Anything could have happened, okay. والصحيح منه هم فيه معذورون. Okay, so Sahaba radiallahu anhu, okay, they make mistake. They make mistake in many things, and as I said, they fall into major sins. I can give example like they make ijtihad and they make mistake. Prophet corrected Prophet Abu Bakr. Prophet Allah revealed ayah to defend Umar, and Prophet Abu Bakr were mistaken in many things. Okay, and Umar was supported by Allah Azza wa Jal. We have stories like Qudama bin Ma'dun, one of the Badri, who was a Badri, and he made mistake, and if that was done with knowledge, you become a kafir. Like for example, Shaykh said, وَالصَّحِيح مِنْهُمْ فِي مَعْذُرُونَ, and what is authentic is that they're excused. إما مجتهدون مصيبون وإما مجتهدون مخطئون, that they will make ijtihad and they will be corrected, they'll be right, and they will make ijtihad, they'll be wrong in that. So we have to understand Sahaba, they are not ma'asum, they make mistake, but they're the best of the mankind. So this Qudama bin Ma'dun, that he drank alcohol believing it's halal, and he was time for Umar radiallahu anhu, and the ayah in the Quran where it says eat and drink, there's nothing wrong with it. It's those who believe, eat and drink whatever you wish. It's, it's lawful for you. It's in that kamakal translation like that. So Qudam al-Mad'un, he took the ayah, and what happened is that he drank alcohol believing it's halal. Nothing wrong tasting it. It's okay for you. Or those who believe. But that ayah is talking about when it was halal. It was nothing wrong with you to drink then. Not now, it's haram. So anyway, he made ta'wil. Qudama al-Mad'un made ta'wil, distorted, gave misinterpretation of the ayah. He drank it thinking it's halal. So Umar was told, radiallahu anhu, he lashed him, and he told him, this ayah means that. Once upon a time, it was halal for you to drink alcohol. It wasn't haram. So there was nothing wrong for you to taste it. But now it's haram. You can't taste it. See that will he made. He misunderstood. Okay. But what I'm saying is that Sahabas are mujtahidun. Okay. They make ijtihad. They derive ahkam shar'iyyah. They can be right and they can be wrong. Okay. So we don't take these mistakes and start conveying and undermining them. Yadu billah. We don't do that. Okay, but some of this narration regarding company made mistake could be wrong as well. Could be something added. Anything could happen regarding their mistake. But regarding the confliction, we don't start talking ill manner and undermining them. Like for someone to say, it's easy to undermine. You can say something and you undermine the companion. For example. To say the one I've heard, we know is that if you were to say one of the companions, Umar or any companions, they will not able to answer Aqeedah issues nowadays. They will not able to do it. They will struggle it. You're undermining them. Yadu billah. How can you say that? This is belittling the companions. A'udhu billah. So this is a very dangerous word. So what we're learning is that about companions, we should withhold our tongue from any dispute about them. Okay, between the companions, or we shouldn't talk, or anything that happened between them, we don't talk unless there's the maslahah, the benefit to talk about it. We remain silent. And these athar you're talking about, what happened between them, confliction, maybe it's fabrication, could be something added. You have to know the athar, you have to know the story behind it, could be made up. Okay, but then Shaykh says, but the sahih, what is authentic is that if they're right, the story is right, qissa is right, but they might be making ijtihad, they might be wrong, they might be making ijtihad, they might be right. Hatib ibn Abi Balta'a, he made mistake. Okay, this Sahabi Qudam al-Mad'un made mistake in his ijtihad. So we have to understand that. So we have to keep our tongue, withhold from talking about their mistakes too much, unless there is a necessity, unless there is a maslahah benefit talking about it. Okay. To derive a ruling or evidence from it. Okay, let me give an example. The ulama they use. Okay, even ulama they use. For example, when Bilal was said by Abu Dharr radiallahu anhu, the two great companions, you are a son of a black woman. Abu Dharr said to Bilal. Bilal was Abyssinian, and it is a very bad, harsh word. So when Prophet heard it, okay, he said to Abu Dharr, Fika jahiliyyah. He knew that there's a jahiliyyah in it. Okay? So Abu Dharr fell on the floor and said to Bilal, step on my head for what I have said. I said, I forgive you, nothing against you. But why do you, so the ulama, they use this hadith to derive a ruling. You know what the ruling is? We are allowed to say, Fulan Fika jahiliyyah. You can say, oh so and so, you have in you jahiliyyah, based on the hadith. But we don't live in time of jahiliyyah because the Quran is there, the deen is there. But you are allowed to attribute somebody to say a Muslim, no problem. If he's acting like that, bad character, bad behavior, you are allowed to say, he knew the jahiliyyah. You're behaving very bad. So Fika jahiliyyah, Prophet said to Abu Dharr. Okay, so see we can derive ruling from it. That's why we're mentioning it. But Abu Dharr is Sahabi, he's an Imam, he's a great scholar. So scholars, they mention their mistake to teach the people, not to belittle them and talk about for no reason. We shouldn't be doing that. But for benefit, for teaching and learning, we can mention some of these benefit, their mistake, to help us to learn, inshallah. Okay, Jazakumullah khair. Let's stop here, inshallah. And our brother want to ask me if they have anything to ask. Any question? Clarification? Go on. Yeah.
You know, the wives of the Prophet ﷺ, how were a lot of them like commands by Allah, or like was it like what did Allah command the Prophet ﷺ to marry so and so and so, or was it like of free will?
Okay, that's a good question. Did Prophet marry his wife by the commandment of Allah? No, no. Only one wife of the Prophet Zainab bin Jahash, I think. There are two of them, Zainab bin Huzaymah, Zainab bin Jahash. The two wives of the Prophet the same name. Zainab, she married, she out of honor, she said, actually no, she was the only one. She said, you are the wife of the Prophet. Prophet married you, yeah? But Prophet married me because Allah told him to marry me. And she said out of izzah, yeah. So she said it like that. Actually, Allah did tell the Prophet to marry Zainab. So that's the only wife of the Prophet. Prophet married her because Allah told him to marry her. That's the only one I know, narration. I think other ones, Allah Alam. Yeah. خلاص إن شاء الله جزاكم الله خير.